Hello everyone, how are you? I'm great, thank you for asking. So today, with Miss Mika, we will learn about new material. But before we move on to the material, I would like to ask you one question. The question is, what was the most interesting thing you did last weekend? Apa hal paling menarik yang kalian lakukan di akhir pekan? Okay, playing with friends, ada. Ada lagi? Go shopping. Okay, good job everyone. So, sejauh ini, do you guys can guess, apakah kalian bisa menebak apa yang akan kita pelajari hari ini? Yes, good job. We will talk about recount text. And the learning objective for today's meeting is, first, you are able to understand the structure of recount text. Second, you are able to identify the types of recount text. Third, you are able to identify the language features of recount text. And lastly, you are able to read and analyze a recount text based on the structure and language features. Okay, without further ado, let's jump into the materials ya. What is recount text? Apa itu recount text? The definition is, recount text is a text which retells events or experiences in the past. Jadi, recount text itu adalah teks yang menceritakan kembali peristiwa atau kejadian yang berlaku di masa lampau. Dan social function dari recount text itu ada tiga ya, ada tiga. The first one is to retell past events, atau untuk menceritakan kejadian di masa lampau. Second is to inform or entertain, untuk memberitahukan atau untuk menghibur. And the third one is to share personal experience or reflections. Now, move on to the types of recount text. So, in recount text, we have 4 types of recount text, yeah. The first one is personal recount. Jadi, personal recount is a text that contains the author's personal experience. Personal recount itu adalah teks yang menceritakan tentang pengalaman pribadi si penulis, ya. Contohnya seperti diary atau jurnal, terus juga ada holiday experience, pengalaman liburan, dan lain sebagainya. Next, we have factual recount, a text that contains a report based on facts. Jadi, factual recount adalah teks yang menceritakan tentang laporan berdasarkan fakta. The example is like experiment report, police record, and so on. The third one is imaginative recount. Imaginative recount is a text that contains an imaginative story experienced by the author, directly by the author. For example, like hallucination, nightmare, and so on. Jadi, seperti namanya, imaginative recount atau imajinasi, itu adalah teks yang menceritakan tentang pengalaman atau cerita imajinasi yang dirasakan langsung oleh si penulis. Contohnya itu seperti halusinasi, mimpi, and so on. Next, we also have historical recount, which is a text that contains a record of historical events that truly happened in the past. Jadi, historical recount itu adalah teks yang menceritakan tentang catatan sejarah atau peristiwa sejarah yang benar-benar terjadi di masa lampau. Contohnya seperti proklamasi kemerdekaan dan cerita-cerita sejarah lainnya. Oke, selain daripada types atau jenis, we also have the structure. Structure of recount text, we have three parts here. The first one is orientation. Second one is series of events, and the third one is reorientation. Now we try to talk about the orientation. Orientation is the opening section of a text or introduction that contains the background of an event, such as who was involved and when and where the event occurred. Jadi orientation itu adalah bagian pembuka dari sebuah teks atau bagian pengenalan yang menceritakan latar belakang dari sebuah cerita atau peristiwa. Then we also have series of events. Series of events is part of a text that contains a sequence of events experienced by the author in chronological order. Jadi series of events ini adalah bagian dari teks yang menceritakan urutan peristiwa yang dialami oleh penulis secara runtut. Jadi secara berurutan. And lastly, we have reorientation. Reorientation is the closing section of a text that contains a summary, message, impression, or the author's feeling about the experienced event. Jadi reorientation ini adalah bagian penutup dari sebuah teks yang isinya itu adalah kesimpulan, summary, message, pesan, impression, kesan, and or the author's feeling atau perasaan si penulis terhadap peristiwa yang dialami. Okay, now this is the example of text entitled A Trip to the National Zoo and Aquarium. I will give you 5 minutes to read the text and try to find the structure. So, have you finished reading the text? Okay, now let's try to identify the structure together and check whether your answer is correct or not. Yeah. Okay, for the orientation structure, orientation part, which paragraph is the orientation? Paragraf mana yang masuk ke orientasi? Yes, the first paragraph atau paragraf pertama. Ya, seperti yang sudah Miss jelaskan tadi, as what I've explained before, orientation is part of a text yang contains who, when, and where. So from the first paragraph, we can identify who is involved, who was involved, yeah, which is my family and I. Then when this event happened, yesterday, and lastly, where did it happen? At the National Zoo and Aquarium. So this is why the first paragraph is called as orientation. Now we move on to the series of events. Which paragraph is the series of events? Good job. The second paragraph. So the second paragraph is where the author talk about the events in chronological order. And lastly, the reorientation. So the last paragraph is the reorientation. Why? Kenapa ini masuk ke reorientation? Paragraf terakhir. Yes, because in this paragraph, the author talk about what he or she feels during the trip. Now, sejauh ini, do you have any questions? Apakah ada yang mau ditanyakan? Oke, jika tidak ada, kita masuk ke pembahasan yang seterusnya. So, the next section we'll talk about the language features atau unsur kebahasaan dari recount text. Seingat kalian, apa language features atau apa tenses yang kita gunakan untuk menceritakan peristiwa yang sudah terjadi? Okay, good job. We will use past tense. Okay, karena recount text ini sifatnya adalah menceritakan tentang peristiwa yang sudah terjadi, makanya kita menggunakan past tense instead of simple present tense. And actually in recount text, there are 5 language features, and we will talk about it one by one. The first one, we'll talk about the simple past tense. So as I've mentioned before, simple past tense is used to tell about events that happened in the past. Past tense have verbal sentence and nominal sentence. We'll talk about the verbal sentence first. In verbal sentence, we have positive sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentences. This is the formula. Okay, I will give you the examples of sentences. So this is the example. For the positive sentence, the example is we studied English last week. We here is the subject. Jadi we di sini adalah sebagai subjek. Studied ini adalah sebagai verb to atau verb 2. Next, the negative sentence. We did not study English last week. Jadi we, subject, diikuti dengan did not, dan diikuti dengan study atau verb 1. And for the interrogative, we have did plus subject we and verb 1 study. We move on to the nominal sentence. Nominal sentence, same with verbal, they are positive, negative, and interrogative. For the to be here, you have to use it depends on the subject. For example, if the subject is I, he, she, it, you have to use the to be was. But if the subject is you, we, they, you have to use the to be word. Next, the complement. Complement here can be noun, can be adjective, and also can be adverb. I will provide you these examples. So this is the examples of sentences. For the positive, we have she was a talented singer. She ini sebagai subject, was sebagai to be, and talented ini sebagai complement. Complement dalam bentuk adjective. Then for the negative, we have she was not a talented singer. She sebagai subject, was sebagai to be, and talented ini sebagai complement. For the interrogative, we have was sebagai to be plus she, subject, and complement. Second language features is action verb. Verb that shows action or activities performed. Jadi, action verb itu adalah kata kerja yang menunjukkan aksi. Contoh action verb sendiri itu ada banyak. Ada played, bermain, laugh, tertawa, jump, melompat, watch, melihat atau menonton, swim, berenang, gave, memberi, read, membaca, work, bekerja, spoke, berbicara. And this is only the example. Actually, there are a lot more of action verb. Adverb of sequence. To show the sequence of events. Jadi, adverb of sequence ini digunakan untuk mengurutkan peristiwa atau kejadian. The example is like first, next, then, after that, lastly, finally, and etc. Okay, next we have adverb of time. To show past time. The example for adverb of time were last week, in the morning, last month, yesterday, an hour ago, and so on. Lastly, we have linking verb. So linking verb is a verb that we use to connect the subject of a sentence to a subject complement. Contohnya seperti was, were, seemed, became. Okay, sekarang I want you to identify the language features that was found in this text. So, yang Miss highlight merah, which language features is it? Apa language features yang dimaksudkan? Yesterday, in the morning, at lunchtime, in the afternoon, at the end of the day. Masuk ke language features yang mana? Yes, good job. Masuk ke adverb of time, karena menunjukkan waktu yang sudah terjadi. Okay, next, for the green one. Yang berwarna hijau. Masuk ke mana? Good job. Masuk ke action verb. So, went, entered, see, cook, forgot, visited. Ini adalah action verb karena menunjukkan aksi. Then, the orange one. Yang berwarna oranye. Itu adalah linking verb. Jadi was, were, ini adalah linking verb yang mengkonekkan antara subject dengan complementnya. And lastly, we have after. Which language features is it? Good job. Adverb of sequence. This is the answer. Good job, everyone. Close to all of you. So now, do you guys have any questions? Oke, tidak ada. So, Miss harap materi hari ini bisa tersampaikan dengan baik dan bisa kalian pahami. And I think that's all for our meeting today. Thank you for your attention and participation, and see you next week. Thank you, everyone.